Hello everyone, Unknown Reefer here. Been quite a long time since an upload. Not a lot has really changed with the tank in that time, so I've been a bit light on the updates. I've been quite busy wrapping 2023 up, so thought I'd start the year off with a kick-off and a bit of what the tank's looking like. Ignore the dog whining in the background. What the tank is looking like at the moment. It's going pretty well. I mean, I've still got some bits of cyano that come back, but I have been extremely slack in the water changes. Partly because of busy, partly because I didn't have my water barrels. Because I lent them to somebody and I've only just got them back. I'm actually going to quickly put... There we go. DD filter on the lens so you can see the tank clearly. Yeah, I'm getting quite good growth. I mean, the biggest sort of growth is probably this GSP, which came from a little 10p size frag quite a while ago, and it's growing quite nicely. And I bought this lever, and it was actually a bit smaller, quite a while ago for £10, and since I got it, it was, as I say, a bit smaller. I've cut a chunk off and fragged it to give that one, and I've also got this one going in the little corner. So if you can get yourself any cheap sort of frags of leather corals, it's well worth doing because they will grow out quite nicely. My fish stock has stayed the same for quite a long time. I did impulse buy a little clown tang that was about the same size as one of these chromus. But it was a bit of an impulse buy because I think it just got in at the shop, hadn't really settled in, and it was quite timid. Went into this tank, and the Regal had a bit of a go at it, but it was alright, it was doing okay. But it was in there for a couple of weeks, and it never really, even though it was eating, it never really seemed to fatten up. It was quite skinny, so I wonder if there was maybe something wrong with it to begin with. But other than that, I've not put any new fish in. I've added the odd bit of new corals, usually it's mushrooms. As you can see, these ones are doing quite well. They're not the biggest they've been because I've increased the flow in the tank. So they're getting down a bit more, but actually everything else seems to like the better flow. I got this Iron Man mushroom that was probably half that size a couple of months ago, so that's growing out quite nicely. And I've got these Panigrandis that are actually, the camera will focus on them, do look quite nice and they're getting quite a bit of colour, and they seem to grow quite well. I had one head and a couple of tiny little heads. Go away, purple tang. A couple of tiny little heads with it, and now the extra heads have actually got bigger than the original head was that I bought on the main heads, getting quite big as well. Kit wise, everything is still the same on the tank. Other than my Christmas present, which is this Max Spec Gyre pump. It's the 4K pump, and I got that to replace my old, I think it was a Jebao or Jekod second-hand one that I got. That actually, after I've taken it out, I've realised the bearings actually went in it, but it was basically really, really noisy. It would get clogged up really easy and just wouldn't run properly. So the main reason for a buy was it being quiet. Now this one ramps up to, I think it's about 60% going forwards for 6 seconds, I think it is. It stops for 6 seconds and then it goes backwards on about 70% on the way back. But it produced lots of flow and it's really quiet. What I'll do is I will shut up for a second and I'll film this GSP and the surface so you can see and hear the flow that it actually gives out. So that was about 60-70%. What I've done is this side is pointed slightly up, so it comes along the top of the water, gets all these corals, and it affects here. The bottom side I've actually got pointing down, so it kind of comes and hits this rock and then goes over the sandbed a bit more to try and keep the sandbed a bit cleaner. Obviously, to try and help fight the cyano, but all I need to do for that is actually get on top of my water changes, and I'm mixing a load of water up now. Yes, that's my plan for the moment, is to just get this cyano cleared up again. I've got some chemically if I need it, and actually keep up with the water changes. It is my birthday soon, and although I've already got some bits for my birthday, I might try and convince the wife to let me have a little nip down to the local fish shop and maybe get a couple of little frags. I would say something like Zoas, but to be honest, Zoas never really do that well in my tanks. I don't know what it is. I suspect it is these Astorinas, because I put a little rock of Zoas with that sort of pally thing there, and within a day there was Astorinas all over it. So they definitely do eat your corals. I know a lot of people say they're not a problem, but they definitely do eat your corals. To combat that, I don't know if we'll be able to see him. Somewhere under there, usually, there is a harlequin shrimp. That's been in the tank about a month or so, probably getting close to 2 months now, and he's doing quite well. So I still think there's that. I can still see Astorinas in there, so there's enough to actually keep him going. Ignore the dog; he's come right up to me now. Yeah, so I quite like the harlequin shrimp. They're quite a cool looking thing. I know they can eat all the starfish and starve out the tank, but hopefully he'll keep going because he's quite a pretty creature to have inside the tank. And hopefully I'll try and do a proper review of him another time. And then I might start reviewing maybe some of the corals that I've added since the last setup, and a few other bits that I've found. Thanks a lot for watching.